In the air, the giant. The Antonov An-225 Mriya is the biggest airliner in the world and the biggest cargo plane ever constructed. The aircraft, which could carry up to 250 tons of cargo, was a marvel of contemporary engineering. Because of its size and distinctiveness, the Mriya garnered a lot of public attention and eventually gained a worldwide following. The An-225 is longer than the Statue of Liberty, measuring 290 feet in wingspan and 275 feet in length. It was the largest cargo plane in the world, weighing 285 tons when empty. The aircraft is famous for having the widest wingspan of any aircraft currently in service and for being the heaviest plane in the world. But it has also included the airlift of the biggest payload ever, 279 tons, along with 214 other national and 124 international records. We shall examine the aviation mythology today. The original purpose of the An-225 was to return the Soviet Buran space shuttle to the Baikonur spaceport in Kazakhstan from its landing location. The An-225 was transformed into a cargo aircraft by Antonov Airlines following the conclusion of the space program. The Antonov Design Bureau, ADB, of Ukraine designed and built the Antonov An-225 Mriya. On December 21, 1988, it took off for the first time. The An-225 became the mainstay of Antonov Airlines' fleet, transporting items like wind turbine blades, diesel locomotives, and 130-ton generators that were previously believed to be impossible to transport by air, accomplished 214 additional national and Dubai. Let's examine the aircraft quickly. This is the aircraft's body, or fuselage. In order to optimize the aircraft's cargo carrying capability, the cockpit is situated directly over the main cargo area. The main deck is used for the cargo hold, therefore you have to climb a ladder to get into the cockpit. A pilot, co-pilot, navigator, radio operator, and 2 flight engineers make up the An-225's typical crew of 6. The landing gears of the airplane are located down here. The landing gear system of the An-225 Mriya included 32 wheels, some of which could be steerable. With 2 wheels apiece, the twin nose gear units could kneel to make freight loading and unloading simpler. There were 28 wheels on the main landing gear, 7 pairs on 4 of which were steerable, on each side. The aircraft could do a full circle on a runway that was 60 meters wide. Inside the wings are the fuel tanks. 365 tons is the tank's capacity. Fuel is stored in 18 integrated wing tanks of the aircraft. It can go more than 15,000 kilometers in 18 hours. The fuel consumption rate for cruising is 15.9 tons per hour. The plane can fly for almost 2 hours without refueling when it is completely laden. Maximum cargo loading is made possible by the aircraft's nose acting as a cargo door. The crew rest cabin, the cockpit, and an adjoining personnel cabin are all located on the upper deck. The cargo compartment is located on the lower deck. It has an aft cargo door as well. Room for cargo 43 meters is the length, 6.4 meters is the breadth, and 4.4 meters is the height of the cargo compartment. The An-225 can carry a variety of cargo because the cargo room is pressurized. Up to 16 regular containers, over 80 passenger cars, or even big trucks can fit within. There is adequate room inside for a Boeing 737 cargo handling lingling. The nose gear must first be retracted in order to load goods. The airplane's front kneels. The plane is stabilized by adding more support struts. Fully retracted, the 175-ton nose gear hangs only a little bit above the ground. Only the struts are now supporting the Antonov 225. Then a ramp for loading cargo unfolds like a tongue. Next, a track system's many portions are put together. To increase the amount of friction between the cargo and the track, skids are added. After that, mobile cranes are used to place the bulky freight load onto the orange skids. The load is fastened to a steel rope that is connected to 2 cable winches after it has been positioned. The weight is dragged into the airplane, centimeter by centimeter. Since the string must to wound uniformly, 2 crew members make sure the cords are spaced correctly on the spool. The track system is disassembled and the nose door is shut after the load has arrived at its destination. Within the aircraft, the main cargo deck of the inner cargo hold has an integrated crane that can move a 33-ton load. The enormous aircraft needs a lot of thrust, thus it has 6 engines. The An-25 Mriya is powered by three shaft turbofan engines, each of which has a maximum thrust capacity of 229.5 kilonewtons and are produced by the Ivchenko Progress Lotarev D-18T. The final task. The An-225's final voyage took place between February 2nd and February 5th, 2002 Legacy. The An-225's wreckage is still there in the hangar where it was destroyed. In May 2022, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky declared that the aircraft would be rebuilt in remembrance of all Ukrainian pilots who died in the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Because the Antonov An-225 is such a marvel, aviation enthusiasts from all over the world often travel to airports to witness it in operation Part 2, during which it transported 90 tons of COVID-19 test kits to Billund, Denmark from Tianjin, China. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine started while they were being kept at a hangar in Hostomel, Ukraine. During the Battle of Antonov Airport, Russian troops invaded the airstrip and destroyed the An-225.